Jayden Daniels is putting together one of the greatest career starts that the NFL has ever seen. From shattering Tom Brady's records to bringing hope to a struggling franchise, he's surprising everyone. But he's really been doing this his whole life. With haters throughout college, he's always played with the chip on his shoulder. So how did Jayden Daniels really become the player he is today, though? I'm Jerry, and this is a Clutch original on Jayden Daniels. Well, he was actually meant to break football records just because of his upbringing. Jayden was born December 18, 2000 in Fontana, California, to Jayden Daniels and Regina Jackson. And his father was a football star. Right before Jayden was born, Jay played cornerback for University of Washington and Iowa State in the late 90s. According to Jayden, he wanted me to play corner because he knew I could have the height to play that position. So his dad helped in everything that Jayden did. He played tons of sports before going all in on football. This included basketball, track, and soccer. But he was always meant to be a quarterback. At just age 7, Jayden told his dad he wanted to play quarterback, so his parents did all they could to help develop those skills. His mom, Regina, was the president of the Pop Warner program, and his dad coached, teaching him how to read complicated defensive coverages with his defensive background. And with that Pop Warner team, Jayden didn't lose for 2 consecutive seasons. It didn't take long at all. He was ready for the next level. So in 2015, Jayden went off to Cajun High School in San Bernardino, and he arrived as a star. He was so good that at just the age of 14, he was named the varsity starter. However, there was a slight hiccup. According to the California Interscholastic Federation, kids cannot play varsity football until their 15th birthday. And Jayden had another factor playing against him: his small frame. While he was 5'11", he only weighed 125 pounds. A waiver was required to be signed so he could play high school football. And after meeting with multiple doctors, he finally got the green light. He said, "Me and my dad had to sit with the doctor and convince her that I'm going to be all right." And he was more than just all right. In his junior year, he led Cajun High School to their first state title game in 30 years. And set the California Interscholastic Federation single-season yard record with 6,431 yards. And he was better his senior year. Cajun took home back-to-back Citrus Belt League titles, and he set CIF records. In 4 years at Cajun High, Daniels brought in 17,642 total yards and 211 touchdowns. The nation was starting to take notice. In 2019, he was the top-ranked dual-threat QB and tossed 2 touchdowns in the Under Armour All-American game. This led to 25 different college offers for a now 6'2", 157-pound kid, everywhere from USC to Georgia to Alabama. And after graduating high school in just 3.5 years to attend college early, Jayden went off to Arizona State, starting an interesting chapter in the QB's journey. In 2019, right when he stepped onto campus, Daniels became the first true freshman in ASU history to start opening week, beating out 3 others for the job. They started hot. The Sun Devils opened up the season 5-1, including a 363-yard, 3-touchdown performance by Daniels in Week 6. And despite losing the next 4 games following this performance, Daniels and the Sun Devils were able to salvage their season, winning their last 3 games of the year, including this huge win against number 6 Oregon and Justin Herbert. Daniels won Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week honors with 408 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Jayden's season totals are impressive: 2,943 passing yards and 17 touchdowns. Excitement was buzzing. Despite the shortened 2020 season due to the pandemic, Daniels continued the momentum, including 2 passing and 1 rushing touchdown in a 70-7 rout of Arizona. But what would 2021 bring? Not what you would expect. Because ASU is now under investigation by the NCAA, putting 2 coaches on leave. And it wasn't just football. Both of Jayden's grandparents passed away in 2021, and it affected his play on the field. While he did lead the Pac-12 in completion percentage at 65% and 2,380 yards, he had just 10 touchdowns, and even worse, 10 interceptions. However, he did add 710 rushing yards, showing a new aspect to his game. But a confusing season with mixed results led to an interesting transition in Jayden's life, and it gained him a ton of haters. While he did announce his return to ASU for his senior year, he ended up entering the transfer portal because ASU was still under investigation. This move didn't sit well with his teammates. Just watch this.
Clear this shit out. He out of this. Fuck anyways.
Daniels decided to attend LSU, winning the starting job, but he struggled right away. Despite starting 4-1, Jayden didn't look the same. Like in this 21-17 win over Auburn, with just 80 passing yards. After just 4 days after this Auburn game, Daniels led a players-only meeting to establish trust between him and his receivers. And it helped. They beat number 7 Ole Miss, number 6 Alabama, and won 6 of their last 8 games. Daniels ended with 2,913 yards on 68% and 18 total touchdowns. But arguably the biggest decision of Jayden's college career emerged. Go pro or stay one more year. Well, his draft stock did fall off a bit. Daniels is now a projected 3rd-round pick. And he really wanted to take one last year to make his NFL case. So in 2023, he returned for his last year of NCAA eligibility. And this may be one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen. Not only did he throw over 300 yards 7 different times, he also broke some really impressive records. On November 11, 2023 against Florida, Daniels became the first FBS player ever to have a game over 350 passing yards and 200 rushing yards. The next week, 8 touchdowns against Georgia State, tying an SEC record. He finished this year not only with 3,812 passing yards, 1,134 rushing yards, 40 passing touchdowns, and 10 rushing touchdowns, but the Heisman Trophy too. Now he was NFL ready. And even with a few doubts on his frame, Jayden Daniels went number 2 overall to the Washington Commanders. And he hit the ground running. He was named Washington starter in August 2024 and began his career at an all-time pace, shattering records. He set the record for the highest completion percentage through his first 4 games of a season at 82.1%. It's the best of any QB in a 4-game stretch since 1950. There's much more to his story, but if his start is any indication, we may be witnessing something special. Jayden Daniels has become one of the hottest names in the NFL in a very short amount of time. Only time will tell if he's able to become one of the all-time greats.